Hello everyone, welcome back to CR Racing, and after last weekend's horror show, we've got a few wrongs to right in iRacing this week. We're returning to the F3 Championship this week, coming to you from Road Atlanta. Now, if you saw my video last week, you'll know that my iRating plummeted by nearly 500. Well, the recovery has already started. We had a couple of clean runs at Hockenheim on Monday night, ready for a new race week today. And qualifying actually went pretty well, one of our best of the season. We're going to be starting from the second row. We've put it fourth on the grid. One of the positives that come out of my ratings drop actually is the fact that we are in a slightly lower split now, so hopefully we can be a bit more competitive. Down to the grid then, and already this race has been blown wide open because the pole position man, Gonzalo Gallego, is not going to make the start of this race. There's a gaping hole where Gallego should have been on the right there. That's going to give James Caswell a clear run into T1, particularly when the driver in front of me, Giulio Guarini, got off to such a sluggish start. We may be able to tuck in behind Caswell here and sneak up the inside of Guarini too. He's gone wide. Guarini's surely not going to save that out on the grass. He almost sucked me out with him. We drifted pretty wide ourselves, but into the S's for the first time. We're in third position. James Caswell in that bright green car took full advantage of the wide open space in front of him on the grid, left by Gonzalo Gallego's no-show. Caswell had qualified in third. He lined up alongside me on the second row, but he had a clear run into T1. He took the lead. And then Suleiman Ruffinier tucked it up the inside of me on the exit of T1. He took second position on the hill up to the S's. Actually, it was a pretty easy pass for him in the end because I did get sucked out really wide into T1. I was half following Guarini, but also underestimated the lack of grip with these cold tyres. So I don't want to take too many more chances here until we know these tyres are up to temperature. So we're in third position, but we might come under attack from Fabio Cipollini behind. He's going to move to the inside into the chicane. Now I'm going to stay out wide because that'll give us the inside line for the exit and the inside line for the final corner. However, I don't think we've got the speed out of the chicane to challenge. So that line didn't work as well as I'd hoped. I thought I'd be able to hold on to third position just by maintaining my position and having the inside line up the hill. So we're going to have to find another way to get back past Cipollini and take that third position back. And we might not need to because he's out onto the grass. So that promotes us back up to third position. And what's going on in front? It looks like James Caswell is firing up traffic cones into the sky like party poppers there. He was all over the place. So Suleiman Ruffinier's taken full advantage. He's the new leader of the race. James Caswell second, and we're in third. Right, let's take a breather from the live action and go back and check out a replay of what happened on that first lap. It's only a short lap here at Road Atlanta, but a lot happened in it. Keep your eye on the red and white car on the outside, Giulio Guarini. He carried way too much speed into turn one, and once he gets on the grass, he's never going to save that. We drifted out a little wide there too, but thankfully kept all four tyres on the tarmac. We did lose a position to Suleiman Ruffinier though. That dropped us down to third. And behind us there was absolute bedlam. Sophie Jones was the first to spin out after locking wheels with Javier Gamez. We're riding on board with Joe Robert now, looking back, and we can see the contact that sent Sophie Jones out. We're going to stay on board with Robert because he's now going to have a look up the inside of that navy blue car of Eric Fischer. There's more contact and Fischer gets sent out into the wall. Another huge crash. There's the contact right there, and from then on, Fischer's just a passenger. That car is absolutely totaled. Towards the end of the lap, our third position came under threat from Fabio Cipollini. We tried our best to attack on the exit and up the hill, but we just compromised our exit speed too much. That gave Cipollini third position, but he only had it for the length of the start-finish straight because he too runs out onto the grass. He's going to keep it out of the barrier, but he's going to rejoin right in the path of the oncoming Joe Robert, who absolutely clatters into him. Really difficult for Cipollini that one. Once you're out on the grass, there's very little you can do. Robert tries to go for the inside. There's no room and he crashes out big time. Approaching the end of lap 2, and I tell you what, things are looking really good here. We're managing to keep up with the front two, and we've opened up a decent gap to the driver in fourth, Jason Bradley. He's 1.5 seconds back now, so we're in a comfortable position here, a comfortable third place as we cross the line to start lap 3.
Back in third, keep hustling.
Yeah, that no-show by Gonzalo Gallego, the pole position man, is a game changer in this race. In qualifying, he was more than half a second quicker than anyone else on the grid. He was an odds-on favourite to be a runaway winner here, Gallego, but without him on track, it's anyone's. It looks like Ruffinier might be the new favourite. He's got the #1 plate and he's certainly quickest at the moment. He's opened up a gap of more than a second over James Caswell in second position. And I'm delighted to be in third position at this point of the race. However, that gap back to Bradley behind is starting to come down just a little bit. 1.2 seconds now as Caswell gets it all wrong. He was sideways going into turn 7 there. I eased right off. I thought he was going to spin around into my path. He's managed somehow to save it, but have we got the drive to get past him? I think we have. Just about. We're up into second position now. But are we able to get back onto the racing line? Have we got far enough ahead? I don't want to trim his nose off, so we're going to stay on the inside line here. Caswell's going to fight back around the outside. We need to take a tight line to give him all the space he needs. In fact, we took it too tightly. We've got a slow down penalty. That's really frustrating. Meanwhile, behind, Caswell's got Bradley for company. The two of them are almost side by side, so we may be able to serve this slowdown penalty without losing any positions here. I'm just going to ease off and take turn 1 a bit more carefully. Oh, and it's still not gone. In fact, it's going back up. 0.6 of a second we've got to give away now, and now we're into the S's. This is going to be really difficult to ease off the gas and serve this slowdown penalty without causing an obstruction. Oh, we're running out of time. We desperately need to get on this straight so we can get off the gas and let these cars by. Oh, we're too late. Oh, we've got a black flag. We're going to have to serve a stop-go penalty in the pits. That's disastrous. Really thought we'd slowed down enough, and then once we got into the S's, it was too dangerous to slow down. And now it's just going from bad to worse. This is the Hockenheim hairpin all over again. We're facing backwards on a blind apex. There's no way we can rejoin safely. I thought about it for a moment then, but the gap just wasn't there. We're going to have to wait and let the whole field go through. We've not even served our stop-go penalty yet, and already we're down to last position on track. Well, this race was looking so promising, and then it unravelled in the space of about half a lap. This is James Caswell getting it all wrong into turn 7. I still don't quite know how he saved that, but that gave us the opportunity to get into second position. And right there, we just clipped the grass on the inside. I was trying to give Caswell space so we could go through there too wide. And we ended up being given a really harsh slowdown penalty. Look at that. That's how tight it was. 2 tyres just clipping the grass by the smallest of margins, but crucially, all 4 wheels out of track limits. That's what gave us the slowdown penalty. And I really thought we'd done enough to clear it before we got to the S's, because once you're in the S's, it's so dangerous to ease off the gas suddenly to try and serve that penalty with the time ticking out. As I got onto the straight, it was my first opportunity to do it, but it was just a fraction of a second too late, and we were black flagged. On board now with Javier Games. He was right behind me when I made that mistake into turn 7. He got the best view of that spin. The rear just let it go, spins the car right around, and with that, my hopes of a podium have all but gone. A really stupid mistake that, a lapse in concentration caused by frustration over the black flag. So yeah, with that foolish spin, we lost as much time waiting to rejoin the track as we did making the actual stop-go penalty in the pits. 48 seconds that cost us, plus the time it takes to enter and exit pit lane, and we're going to rejoin well down the order, 15th position. But it could be worse, I guess. At least when I in last, we did come out of pit lane in front of Christina Duman in 16th. She's 2.5 seconds behind, and of course there were crashes on the opening lap who picked up damage. They're still in the pits getting repairs. However, we didn't have to wait too long to start getting some positions back. This is Jason Bradley getting airborne after locking wheels with Sophie Jones. Now he's going to be able to rejoin, but Jones isn't going to be so lucky. She's getting going in the background just here, and she's going to get overtaken by the number 15, Enrico Sechel. But then the two of them are going to come together and both arrow out into the concrete wall. So that accident promoted us up to 13th place, and we're steadily pulling away from Christina behind now. So maybe all is not lost yet. After all, we're only halfway through this race, and we're seeing a lot of drivers crashing out here. And the thing with Road Atlanta is if you crash out, you're probably going to hit a wall, which means lengthy damage.
You're in the top 10.
And what a notification from crew chief. We're up to 9th place. We've gained 4 positions somehow on that last lap. Yeah, further up the field, this race was turning into a demolition derby. The first to go was the number 11, Heidi Hammond. And then at the end of the lap, the battle between the number 20, Diego Bustamante, and number 16, Ben Pruski, that spilled over on the crest of the hill. Now, somehow after this violent collision, Bustamante was still able to keep going. He manages to rejoin, but at the end of the straight, he gets passed by the number 10. That's Jose Antonio Zamorano, and then those two collide as well. That's 4 drivers headed to the pits for lengthy repairs. Yeah, I really thought my race was over when we went into the pits to serve that penalty, but incredibly, we find ourselves in a top 10 position and a comfortable one. At that, we're now gaining on the driver in 8th. That's Drew Holdeman, and we're going to breeze past him on the back straight. However, that's not for position. Holdeman's a lap ahead, so we're nearly unlapping ourselves there, but it looks like he might have some sort of problem. Speaking of problems, there's another car off and rejoining. That's Fabio Cipollini, who was in 6th. Yeah, you really wouldn't think that turn 7 was so difficult, but at least I'm not the only one to lose it there. This is Cipollini just lighting up the rear on exit. And even the best were making mistakes. This is our number 1 and race leader, Sylvain Raffinier. He gets it all wrong going into the chicane, and is he going to surrender the race lead too? Let's look to the track. Where's James Caswell? There he is! Caswell is now the new race leader. Well, our 9th position is looking even more comfortable now on lap 12, with 13 seconds clear of Christina Duman in 10th place. But then, just as we're getting comfortable, the car lets go on me big time. The rear spins around 180 degrees. We're into the wall, and I really can't explain that crash. We've used that curb every lap without any problem whatsoever, and then suddenly on this lap, disaster strikes. Now, we were really careful rejoining there. I wanted to let Drew Holdeman get by. The last thing I wanted to do was pull out onto the track in front of him, but unfortunately we have lost a position because Christina Duman has overtaken us. She's into 9th place, although might not be for long, because Duman has become the latest victim of turn 7, so we are now back into 9th place after all. Yeah, really difficult crash to explain this one. I don't think my line was any different to any other lap that I've taken this corner, but boy, did it let go there. Thankfully, though, there was no harm done, because although we lost a position to Christina Duman, we got it back on the very next corner. Well, when you make a mistake as stupid as the one I made in the early stages of this race, you've got to rely on freebies. And I spent the next few laps hoping that there would be more crashes. However, I wasn't expecting this notification from crew chief.
The leader's pitting now.
Race leader James Caswell has stacked it with just a few laps to go. And boy, did he ever stack it, working its way down through the S's, and he's going to come to grief at the same corner that I had problems in just a moment ago, but this is much worse. Caswell's car there is completely obliterated. That's got to be one of the biggest hits I've ever seen in iRacing. So our race leader, James Caswell, out of the race in spectacular style. That'll knock your fillings out. Well, the big question for me as I reached the final lap was whether Caswell's crash was going to gift me 8th position or not. Remember, we lost a lot of time when we span at turn 7 earlier in the race, and then even more time serving that penalty in the pits. But as we cross the line to take the checkered flag, we have just done enough to take 8th position on the line. So yeah, getting a top 10 position and putting plus 32 on the iRating has got to be considered a success, considering how badly it was looking on lap 4. Here are the classified results then. And we certainly can't put that 8th position down to my quality driving. We were gifted that top 10 finish thanks to so many drivers crashing out and wrecking. I definitely need to improve though. I've got to cut out those stupid mistakes like the one that cost us so dearly in today's race. That could and should have been a podium finish at Road Atlanta for us. So I'll try harder next time, but until then, thank you ever so much for watching, and I'll see you again on the grid very soon. Cheers.